This is Pat Walker at Mission Winners. I have to share a little history with you. For years, I used the 10-period simple moving average. And then I switched to the 5-period exponential moving average. And you could say, why the 5? Ed Seykota uses, or maybe still does, use the 5-period exponential moving average. And I thought, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. So I switched. And what I was finding is I was consistently getting stopped out of my stocks, shaken out. And I realized it's too close. The 5-period exponential moving average is too close for stocks. So we have the 5-period exponential moving average. We have the 10-period simple. Through extensive research with a partner of mine, we came up with the 8-period exponential moving average. And I love it. I love it. It's more responsive. The exponential moving average is more responsive than the simple moving average. So we're going to take a look at something right here. You can see where this is moved up. Right here, look at how it comes. It lifts off the 20, lifts through the 20. It rests on the 8. It rests on the 8. Even this day, and I'm going to enlarge this for you. See that day right there? It comes down and goes below the 8, but it does not close below the 8. And I'd like you to note this trend. This stock rode the 8 period this entire time. Never did it close below the 8 period until we got the gap down. That's powerful. That's powerful. SSO, the 8, comes down to the 8, but didn't close below the 8. Goes above it. Closes at the 8. Does not close below. And in fact, I'll show you this. This day right here closes just above the 8 day. You can see this day closes above the 8. You can see the validity of using the 8. All right. Now let's take it a step further though. Let's look at some of the max list stocks. So here's the first one, Apple. We bought Apple right here. There was our buy. And I want you to note how it walked up the 8. And you can say, what about right here? I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to enlarge this. Look very closely. You see the little hash mark? I'll make it even bigger. See the little hash mark? It closed above the 8 day on that bar. This whole move closed above the 8 day. Then finally, right here, if you look closely, closed right at it, and the next day it closed below. And you want to see something interesting? Look at the volume pickup. You think people don't know about the 8 day? They do. Closes below it for 2 days, and then starts to lift off again above it on a pickup in volume. Isn't that interesting? Then it closes below it on a pickup in volume and gaps down. What did we do? We had sold some into strength, and that allowed us to ride this trend much longer. And again, folks, we own this here. Look at this. Up. At one time, we're up over 100 points. Now, it lost the 20 day. We sold more. Did we sell it all? No. We have a huge cushion. It rode the 8. It rode the 20. It's still above the 50 day. You can say, gosh, sell it losing the 8. No, when you have this gain of this magnitude, you've got to give it a little more room and see what happens at the 50 day. All right? Very important. Let's continue onward. Amazon comes right down to the 8 right here, or gets close, and lifts off on a pickup in volume. And I'm going to enlarge this for you. This is for VIPs. Quiet day, it was on the key list. The next day, takes off. Some of the VIPs bought it right there. And that's a good move. That's more than 100 points. And then finally it loses the 8. And what do? You sell more, if not all of it. And because of the action in the market, you could understand why. Now here's Alibaba. We bought Alibaba. I'm going to shrink this down. We bought Alibaba right here in November of last year. Look at the trend on the 8. This is the only day it closed below the 8 day for this entire trend, folks. And we always take into consideration price and volume. How was the volume on that day? See that low volume day? It was low. So yes, you could sell some, but the volume was low, saying the selling conviction is low. It allows us to ride it much longer. Baidu walks up a little looser. Facebook right here. Look at how Facebook walked up the 8-day. Finally loses the 8-day here. On a pickup in volume, you sell some. Goldman Sachs walked up the 8, now it's loose. Google walked up the 8. We finally took the last out because we're not going to round. We bought that right here, bouncing off the 8-day on a volume pickup, sold into strength, took the rest out. Why? We're not going to round trip a stock. Netflix, look at this. Look at how this stock has walked up the 8-day, touches the 8-day. I mean, it's beautiful. Comes down below the 8-day, but closes above it. Is that awesome? Look at NVIDIA. I'll drag it over here. Look at this. Look at that right there. VIPs bought this. It was on the key list. I'll do something for you that it might help you. This is what we were looking at. Saying it's on the 8-day. Can this bounce off the 8-day on a pickup in volume? Advance it 1 bar. Look at that. It bounces off the 8-day on a pickup in volume. That's awesome. We love that. And again, this took probably to determine the 8 period. This took way over a year of working with my buddy Chris on this and trying to figure it out, studying it, hashing it through over and over, studying hundreds, thousands of charts, trying to get to the point. At one time, we had the 8 period simple, and we realized the exponential was just a bit more responsive for us. And that's why we use it. Now, it's interesting because more people talk about it. All right? Square. Look at Square. Entry right here. You could add an entry right here. Gapping through here. Above the 8, above the 8. This whole move, folks, this whole move, this stock has not closed below the 8-day. You get my point. And then Tesla. If you look closely, the buy right here, look very closely. It does not close below the 8. Does not close below the 8. This whole move, this stock has not closed below the 8-day. 338. Our entry's 338.30. And it's walking up the 8. A couple days ago, that's 600 points. Trends pay. That is also why I do not have on my screen what you're looking at, folks. I got to tell you right here, this is my setup. All right? This chart. Now I've got it shrunk here, but this is my setup right here. And then over on the other side is my max list on this page. And I just scroll down the charts. Twitter gaps up on earnings, pulls back. Look where it stops. Comes down right to the 8-day, but on low volume, and it doesn't breach it. Now, I'm not going to buy a gap up on something like that, okay? But you get my point. Visa walked up the 8-day. I didn't do this one, and I was really chewing on it. Visa walked up the 8-day, all right? MasterCard walked up the 8-day, then lost it, then regained it, and has ridden it. And even today, or Friday, it's still closed above the 8. Anyway, the history again. Everybody uses the 10 period simple. After, I met Ed Seykota and done a tremendous amount of research, and I switched to the 5 period exponential, and I was getting stopped out of stocks all the time. The 5 period is just too close. So I said, well, what's the compromise? You've got the 10 period simple. You've got the 5 period exponential from Ed Seykota. Came to the conclusion. The 8 period exponential moving average works great. I've been using it, I'm going to be blunt. I've been using it this century, okay? This century. And I'll take it a step further. Started using it and I didn't hear anybody else talking about it. And it's not because of me. No, that's lame. But more and more people do use the 8 period exponential moving average. I absolutely love it. And we run it, losing the 8, Or if it gets worse, losing the 20 and give it all the way down, if we have to the 50. That's our tactic, and it works, and it does something really important for us. It simplifies our decision-making process. With a simpler decision-making process, it minimizes stress and indecision, which leads us to make less harried decisions with less stress. And less stress, again, helps us make better decisions. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I will tell you this, I love trends. I love them. It makes it easy. And you've witnessed some great trends from Beyond Meat to Roku to IIPR. These things work.